What's up, y'all? This is a nice run that I like to do around Chiang Mai, sort of an intermediate challenge level. It involves some trail, some road, making your way up the mountain, but not all the way up. So you have to deal with a bit of elevation gain and grade throughout, but overall not too crazy challenging. About 14 kilometers total. So from Hoi Gao Waterfall, park in the parking lot. You make your way sort of down this little alleyway full of shops at the end of the parking lot, which will lead you to the entrance of the park. Once you've entered in, you'll see the waterfalls and sort of river on your left. Here you can start jogging and make your way up and around over the bridge. This lower area of the park itself is quite beautiful, full of lots of large boulders, a couple of tall waterfalls down towards the back, and some nice little trails. You'll find lots of families like to come here and sort of have a picnic, hang out. People come to take photos, or maybe just relax and be in nature. Once you've looped around over the bridge and you're sort of across from the starting point, you'll see a path on the right-hand side. This will lead you to a man-made staircase, sort of a mix of stones and concrete, and this will start taking you up the hill. The stairs are pretty unrelenting for a while, so you're going to be after it. So you can choose to walk this section, or if you jog, expect your heart rate to get nice and high as you get up to the top. Eventually the stairs turn into just sort of natural rock that you're hiking up, and as you climb up this sort of rock face, it brings you to the first little peak where you can start to get a view of Chiang Mai. Continuing on from there, the trail goes through some dense jungle, and eventually you'll see some big waterfalls over on the right side. These waterfalls have pools that are a bit deeper, and people often like to go and swim. You may even see some of the young nains or the young monks in training who come here to cliff dive into the pools. They're not deep enough to cliff dive in my opinion, but if you're an adventure addict, you can give it a try. Definitely a great place to relax. This trail can be a bit rough and definitely has like downed trees and branches running across commonly. So be aware that it may not be the easiest path to follow at this point. Eventually you'll come to the top. You can hop across this little pool or walk through, go up through the little pagoda area, and you will come out on the streets. You'll end up on the mountain road that we will take through to the next leg of the journey. So this road can be quite a fun run on its own and very challenging. If you started at the same starting place and just ran along the road the whole way, it's about 11 to 12 kilometers to the temple at the top. Slow, steady grade the whole way, but grueling for sure. But in this run, we're just doing a small, maybe 3 kilometer section of the road in between the waterfall and Wat Palat. So we stay along the road all the way until we get to the temple, Wat Palat, at which point we start our next trail section. Last 500 to Wat Palat. Let's get it. entering the temple from the top, you can either take the road down or take these little stairs that basically take you to the same place. You'll still have to take a little section of the road at the bottom. This brings you into the temple. Now, I do want to note here that the way I'm dressed is slightly inappropriate to be in the temple. You shouldn't be wearing sleeveless shirts or shorts, but I hadn't really thought of it before, and I was just kind of making my way through really quickly, not staying at the temple, so I did my best to just blend in and get through quick. However, if you are visiting any temple in Thailand, be sure that your shoulders and your legs are covered up. I know it is more of a big deal for women than men, but even for men, we should always do our best to be respectful and follow local customs. Wat Palat itself is a beautiful jungle temple that is absolutely worth the visit, and if you're dressed appropriately, I would recommend taking some time here, do like a halfway stop and enjoy the temple. It's gorgeous. There's a waterfall running right through the middle, and it just seems like you're in the middle of like an Indiana Jones movie or something. It's absolutely an incredible temple. The temple can also be quite crowded, so be prepared to walk and make space for other people, and be polite along the small trail that goes through the middle of the temple. Right, we have to share the space with others, especially if there are elderly people and such there. Again, always be respectful. Once you cross the bridge, you'll be on the Monk's Trail, and this will take you back down essentially. We could head up from Wat Palat and go all the way to the top of the mountain, or you can take the trail back down. For this run, since it's just intermediate, we're heading back down from here. So you get a good chance to do some downhill trail running, stretch the legs out a little bit, get used to being loose and sort of rock hopping and all these sorts of things. Quite a fun little trail. A few parts are a little bit steep and potentially muddy, but for the most part it's not too bad. Could do a mix of walking and jogging. Again, there may be some downed trees in the way here and there, some obstacles, but yeah, nothing too crazy. Monk's Trail has this thick vine hanging in the middle at one point. I'm always so tempted to try to jump over it, and then I always back out last second because I don't want to trip and fall on my face. One day in a future video, maybe you'll see me leap over it. You'll see. Once you reach the trailhead, you come to a little road, and you just sort of keep heading down from there. So it'll just be some little hills basically, continuing to head down on this road until it takes you back to the city near the college campus of CMU. So just heading down the road. Some parts are dirt, some parts are concrete, depends on which section you're on, but it's mostly downhill. Perfect time for a rain shower, right? And at this point, it started to rain on my parade. But with the Thai heat, not a bad way to cool off, I suppose. Once you get back to the main road with all the food stands, you hook a left into CMU, go past the clock tower, and make your way through the campus back to Angao, which is where this video finishes. I actually ran back to my apartment from here. If you had parked your bike at the Huigao waterfall, then you would just go back up to the waterfall from there. Either way, it's probably somewhere between 12 to 14 kilometers in total. A little bit of elevation, a little bit of trail, a little bit of road. Super fun run and a great way to see the beauty of Chiang Mai. Hope y'all enjoy, and let me know if you get a chance to try it out.